Okay, today seminar we talk about data visualization, and I just introduce a practical interaction in all program. And this webinar has some goal today. First of all, I will let you know about the tie on the ground that or scrap that we should avoid. And the second, we will learn together about the or stereo and the background of all, and also indicate development program environment in all program. And the third thing we will learn together about data visualization in all program. And we also let you know today about data import and transport mention and data export. And we the last session we will discuss and ask questions about your concern about all program or any data set relate to your research project. I think today I'm not a teacher. I'm also not a trainer, but I just the facilitator to guide you about all program, and we hope to learn together about using. And I think some of us at here has know about all program. But anyway, I think we can go through together the basic of all program in data visualization. And all of expectation today, I think it when I go to the flow or structure, because in practical we use the real data from the household survey or data on in air program, and we assume all of us at here we practical, and as we are researcher and has data set and apply in a specific research project. So the next I think all of you have saw my email yesterday, and you can go to my GitHub and download data visualize in this link. You can download slide and code that we'll use to study today. And in this, I was has introduced about the source that you can find data set and learn about all program in intermediate levels. You can click on this link advanced and the blog. You can see if you have concern about all program and ask question or to know something about it. You can go to this link. Yes, so before we go to data visualization, I just introduce about the progress of the working on data set. First of all, when we use computer software to analyze this data, first thing that we need to know is import data to the statistical software. And when we import it, we 3D, it means we transfer it to the thing that you want to know, like the data set that you import has a lot of variables, like only 2 or 3 variables to study in specific in your research study. So you need transform the name variable, you need transform the type of the variable, or and after you transfer it to visualize. It means we use the statistical model to analyze the data, or use descriptive statistic or interferential statistic. And after you visualize, or sometimes use the model to analyze the data. And last thing is communicate. It complicate thing that you need to know when we analyze this data. And the last thing that we need to do is how to validate it, how your what can I say, it means that conclusion, what it means if the data set has so like this or like that. Yeah, yes. data visualization in we can download the definition that it's a reporting tool that representation the information in the form of the chart, diagram, graph, picture, and etc. So it means we use the data set and analyze and transform it to another form that you want to produce. And data visualization is the part of a high hypothesis generation or data exploration. It means we have data, but we don't want to show data exploration. What it means about it? It needs to use a multi-core model to generate feasible and predictable data. And we use only observation to confirm a high hypothesis. It means that when we know the problem in Cambodian agriculture, but we don't know the data. So when we hear data, we just to confirm like agricultural output or agricultural production or market. And the thing you need to know is about the modeling. Modeling in here is very important as we social science, and we used to apply econometric or apply another statistical model to plot or visualize data. So you need to well understand about the modeling. Here I want to show you about some useful data that you will see in this panel A and panel B. Yes, among us social science, we use a scatter plot to understand or analyze the two patterns between the X variable and Y variable, and we want to know the relationship between H and Y and its Y chain and what is called to the H. In this file, it from Jackman, his study about income inequality and voter turnouts. He want to study relationship between a household that decide to the vote and their income. It means that if they are poor, it means they will come to the vote or not. But as a result, we can show that when the people has a high level of income, they turn out to the vote or to a listener is very low if we compare to the people has low income. And in common thing that we know that the scatter plot is most powerful in social science, and we used to apply for the subject or the research proposal that we want to see the pattern between the two variable or three variable, or we can say multiple variable like age and income, time and employer. Yeah. This graph is two. We saw about two variable between H and Y and the relationship between these two variable, and the author has classified one by one. And this normal H and normal H residual between H variable. I don't know what it means because I'm not go to his paper. But I think this graph is useful for us. If we can do like this, it's good. Here some graph that we should avoid. Yeah, we see that in this graph has maybe has a code shop with 3D, yeah, and but the problem is that the bar chart is very hard to read, and we compare between each other. So we should avoid the graph like this, because if we have a ruler, we need to measure between this to this to each coordinator. Yeah. And this one too, I think that the type of 3D graph like this has a lot of use in business or marketing, but we are social science or we are researcher. I think we cannot use like this because it's really difficult to read and understand. When we want to know about the D value, yeah, we need to measure between D column to this, and after we need to measure from this point to this. But if we look at that this table, yeah, this file is easy to understand. These four, yeah. And this one too, we need to avoid too. This one is the graph that complicate, and I think the author has a good job to do that. And one graph has 6 variables, and maybe we are difficult to read and too small, and we need to maybe spend a lot of time on it. The useful graph is not complicated. It's easy way to understand. Just we watch or we see the graph. We don't need to read the text to explain about the graph. Just see the graph. We know. And this one too. Maybe it's used for show, but academic way we can create like the graph like this. And this one too, we need to have, we see that a lot of space from values 1 to 7. The author has scatter plot, has x variable, age 30, and people has around 20, and this average important of demography. So if he can create the graph another like this, it may be scope. They can classify category like Australia to group between country and the group of age, and compared to the importance of demography. And this one too, I see a lot of graph like this in report from the World Bank, from the IMF or the other research paper. We can use a graph like this. It's easy to see the flow from 1 year to 1 year between the same variable. It's easy to look at. But if you want to compare between this variable to this variable to this variable and to this variable D, maybe it's hard to understand because there it doesn't value at here, and maybe difficult to. And this one too, I think it's about the technical program. You want to 8 and and the number 1 to 8 has the same, but the problem is this panel B has a long value, and so we need to careful about it because it's the same category or same value, so everything it needs the same if the classifier or the function is the same. So in short, we can see that the problem is not easy to make the graph by application or statistical software. So we need to understand the type of the graph or the variable that you produce to and make sure what the reader that you want to know. If the reader is academic, so if the graph is complicated, also they can understand. But your reader is young analyst or student, so if your graph very complicated, they will don't understand. If you have any question, please ask. Hello. This slide, we talk about the type of variable in statistical software, not only for all program, but also another program like MATLAB, Stata, or if you have the same characteristic. Yeah. This type stand intelligent variable. It means variable numeric, and DBL is represent the variable as duplex variable. It's a real number, 1, 2, 3, 0.5 or minus 0, minus 0.3, example. And this type is the stand as the characteristic vector or variable. It's a characteristic like the name, like Dara, like that, or something that based on your variable that or your objective. And this type of variable is depth and time. But at the same time, we have three another common type of variable. LGL stand as a logical vector. It means only two value. Value one is true. If not true, it's fail. And another type is SCTO. It type as a factor. It also true value 2. It means value 0 or 1. It, we can say a characteristic variable or dummy variable. Yeah. And another is that, then that. Yeah. So I think it's the time that we can go to the real practice with the data set. So I think you should open all studio, and let's start open all studio together, and we go through together. Before you can use RCU, you need to have the install all program, because RCU is the second application that support all program. But we use only RCU all program, just the fundamental program that to restore or store the all program. So first of all, when we first big all program, we see the screen like here, like this. Here we call console. Console it means output. Output it means when you type something, it will produce the value that you type. For example, I type 4 plus 6. So it throw the value. And here we call file. File is file, and plot is the graph that you produce. Packet, and have you can click here and find something that you don't know by use function have, and view something. And this we call environment, history, connection, and torrent. And environment is produce the object. And when you I think you when you do a new project, you can create new project, and you create new write the name of project that you want to create, and the place that you store it. And I think that you can use my file that I has upload in GitHub, and that you can download, and you use it to practice right now. So I open my file, open the project. So my project is named data visualization, and in this project I have a lot of some folder and a lot of file. Like a slide file is a slide that we present and our program, and now I use this to show you, and you can click on this file and try to practice together. This file is format OMD. It means OMD. It means the file that you can produce to export it in file Word or PDF file or HDML file. So I think you can read this session. In all program, not different from another program language, we everything has a name. When you do something, you need create a name. We can say a name, or sometimes we can call object objective. Yeah. Oh, object. Yeah, we can create name, and but sometimes name we cannot use a name like this for L back function, and the name NAN, because this name has a function, so we cannot use this name to produce a new object. Example, I write a name like equal to 34. So my object B equal to 34. When I write a name example Dara, and equal to so object data equal to B 34. So object data equal 34. So I change this type of document to all script. So when I change to all script, it will produce to input, and when graph will show in display. So I think you can practice it right now. When I run it, see it combination. Combination is mean combine between value 1, value 2, 3, and until 2021. And we when you control enter, it produce 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I create a name, object name my name, and I type combine between value 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So when I enter, control enter, it's for produce output of the code that we write. So the object, my number has the numeric number. Simple, I create a function. We can call function or call object or call a name. So I call a function. Function future from team. I write combine between the name Dara, Soja, Sui, Kali, here, and something. So I enter, control enter. So it view a data set object future from team, and I write y equal to 1 to 2021. So when I enter when I the object that I create has shown in display. When I call y control enter, yeah, we see a lot of value. It means value from value 1 to 2020 21, and this one because it present a column, but it's continue from 33 to 34 and 34, 35, and until 2021. Did you have any question?
Bong, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, so I try my best to keep up, but I can't. First question, in the file, can you show us how to import the RMD file again from, I believe you posted on GitHub, right?
So I will give example like open GitHub.
Yeah, so the file is called data visualization RMD. The problem is every time I download it, it comes out as PDF, even when I download the RMD file. So I don't know what's up with that.
Okay, so I will show you.
Yeah. Can you show us how to download from the website and then import it into RStudio?
Do you see the screen on GitHub?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. You click on code and
Code. Yeah, code.
download in zip.
Download zip. Okay.
Yeah. So I try download.
Download zip.
When you download and you can export it in folder. It's
Yeah.
zip from to. And after you go to all studio.
Okay. Let's see. And then you go to RStudio and you, what do you do?
Find the folder that you store.
So right hand side top corner.
Yeah, and when we go to RStudio, we click on open project.
Open project on the top right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you find the file that you downloaded, right?
Yeah. And
okay.
Here my file at here. And
okay, data visualization.
Visualization. Yeah.
Okay.
And enter.
Open.
Yeah. So this code I already change it to AirScript before it in Air Markdown. And you click on file to see all the file in. Click this one.
Click data visualization RMD. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And change RMD
change
to RScript.
Change to RScript.
Yeah. In our program before the description in code, we need to have one or has two based on you. And when if you not has it's type has will not show the visa because it's the word. Yeah, I run it, it's error. But when I type has and click select on it and control enter, it show you description this document. Yeah. So you can type on right here. Or I create a new object combination between Phnom Penh. Okay. Your function has so an environment and output has so here. When you call a function Cambodia, it will show you two variable Phnom Penh and value Phnom Penh and value here. I call Cambodia. Just type Cambodia and click enter, or sometimes you can click control enter or enter. Yes. So we show you Cambodia. So I go to link 58, 50, again, 49. So I create a new object x equal to my number. It means object x equal object my number. So I'm enter or control enter. Control enter. I has produced a new object. Sorry, object. When I want to saw the result of object x, I control enter. So you show us a value. Now I want to try to calculate mean of object x. Want to calculate mean. So we need to type a function mean, and type x, function x, and enter. In here we can enter, but in here we can use only control enter. So the mean of x is around 500. But I want to sum x, control type sum. Or I can click on here and sum. Yeah, we see the same result. And I load on x. Not share on x. X Spicun. Tong sin x. No, has something wrong because we see that in some value of object tong sin x has NA value. NA value is mean missing value or non value. Because when we calculate sin x, it has 0.9, and when we I create a new object x summary, and I summarize x. It means function summary. In a summary, we calculate minimum, quantile, medium, median, quantitative, and maximum. Descriptive statistic. Do you have any question? type table function table and call function object x and enter. It has two row and 5 column. When I table my name, in here we use object sorry, I just pronounce it wrong. Object my name and multiple with 2020. So all value in my name will multiple with 2021. Yeah, BC this one. So when my object +1 yeah, and divide with 12. Function class we can see the type as a variable. In this variable is numeric object my name numeric. Yeah, you can see here my name numeric. And when I class object future from team with string characteristic when class samurai no, because I not sell this function, so when I say this it the same. So first thing you need to know about our studio is packet. Packet is mean the function that researcher or the AI expert has produced in all program, and we can use packet to apply on a specific project. So first of all, you need to install packet. If you are first with AI, install packet, you can type, please type install packet. And when you install tidyverse, when you enter, it will download. Make sure your you has connect to internet. Tidyverse is a common packet in all studio, and this packet we can use to transformation data set and analyzing in statistical descriptive, and also can tidyverse can also to produce scatter plot and visualize data. So I think you need to click select on here and control enter. So it will spend a few minutes to install it. I type install. After you run my packet, you can run this one, install packet, control enter. So it will spend some minutes to install it. So please do. If you have any question, please ask. After we install it, you can type library. Library use packet that you install to apply on here is the same. Control enter. If you want to update packet, you can type function update point packet and packet that you want to update, the name of package. Like example, this packet, diverse boom, coefficient plots, cost plot, yeah. And if you want to search packet, you can type search and packet name. And if you have any question, you can just type question sign and write something that you want to know, but use only keyword. Example, I type a regression. Regression. Ask for provide example. You can type example and type histogram example. So now we can go to the data set. I have a data set called empty car. You can control enter. I clear this. Okay, try again. So I create a new object, my empty car, and object. This object equal to empty car. So we call all variable from empty car. Yeah. And call for the object, you can type I think my PC has some error. Sometimes when we, yeah, here it's so. Oh, sorry. Spam sometimes. Try again. I clear. Okay, I again call this variable, yeah, because of the data set has variable observation, and here variable we call variable or object, and I create a new, yeah. I data set has 32 observation with 12 variable, and I want to class classify, want to know about the type of variable. So it we call data frame. Data frame, it means when we select on here, you will see a type of data frame with all our observation and multiple variable in the list. We call data frame. When I type and use variable from this data frame, p key. So we call numeric value. So this data frame we get from data program. So we want to know about the definition of the variable or the data set. You can question sign and as chi ka. Yeah. So it will show you about. So description about dataset. Dataset was extracted from 2019, and we have 12 variable. Variable one, MPE, it means mil US. Here, value has only dummy variable 0 and 1. When I want to know the type of this variable, I can write my chi ka. See the type of variable chi ka. Use dollar sign and write transmission MA. Yeah, a numeric variable, but it's dummy variable, only 1 and 0. When we want to know about the variable name, we can write function name and type object. See, variable name like here. Yeah. And I want to list object. We can write function ls equal list and list by characteristic m. Yeah. If you want to see about the structure of variable, you can write function st or and my variable. All of variable has is the numeric value, numeric type of numeric.
Bong, I have another question. Can you hear me?
Okay, please.
Okay, so yeah, I just called the data and I managed to get it to plot into a graph, just like you. So I was just wondering, in order to make the table on the left side, so where it shows all the cars, all the variable, where do you make all this data? Where do you make them first before you put it into R and then turn it into a graph? Sorry, Bong, I think your mic isn't on. We can't hear you.
Okay, sorry. If you want to see the data frame, it means all observation and variable, you can click on this. Here we see data frame, but if you want to summarize all data frame, it means summarize use only variable and the number of observation. We need to move to the next. Yeah.
Okay, so it's called a data frame.
Here we call data frame. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you want to start making another data frame, where would you make it?
We can, if you have data on Excel file or in your computer, you can import. Click on data import and find the data like from Excel file, from PS, sound, or from Stata. But
Oh, okay. So you can make something like this on Excel first, and then
okay,
import it into RStudio, and then you can transform it into the graph. That's right. Am I
okay,
correct?
okay. Yeah. So I find this one. Yeah. When we export data from Excel or data from CPS, we need to write function read CPS data of PDF and find file in your computer. File, in my computer, I remember my file is name data. I want to call this data frame. So I write file and data, footer data, and slash the variable we write organization and enter. So we will get a data frame error. Oh, error tracking organization. Okay. Yeah. So we get a data frame, but we need to create object. Again, we create object data one. Uh, so yeah, data one we just import from uh, CSV file. Want to see the observation, the value, you can click on here, and or you just want to know about the observation. Yeah, it's number of observation and number of variable. And for import data from Stata, you need to install package. If you not doesn't install, you can install package harvest. Just install it and enter. But I have installed it already. I just uh, call libraries harvest. Yeah. So I read files data. I create a new data frame called data. I want to import data from this one. So I read Stata, uh, Stata, yeah, and file data, footer, and micro word data, enter, error, micro. It is running. Wait a minute. Because this file is very large, we have a lot of observation and variable. Here, data frame 2, 1 million variable and 30 observation. So let's start. So we come back to my empty car data frame. I want to solve about only 7 role. So I just type function head and file and unequal to number and rewrite number 7. Enter. Yeah, it will show you only 7 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And all all variable has shown. If I want to show on this two variable, it will produce only 2. Yeah. In this one, we want to print. In here, we can call print or output. Print the last 5 row or 4 row. Okay, but so control enter. Yeah, the last 5 row. If you select on this and enter, it will show you at all. Yeah, last 5 row below. Now I want create a plot on my data, my empty car, and I choose a variable mpg, and scatter plot between variable this. So this mission or these two variables. My US grantee and MDG's replacement. When I enter scatter plot, then it will show you the graph. X coordinator show the MPG and Y displays. If I want to summarize only summarize there is some all observation maximum minimum MTP 10 when you see minimum 10 MTP 10, yeah, around this one, and maximum MTP 33 around this. And display this one minimum 71 around this, yeah, and the maximum. Do you have any question? The text in or studio is very small, so maybe difficult to see to reach.
Bong, I have a question again. So in the data set, for example, in the car data set, so obviously the name of the car is on the I mean it's on the column, and in our studio it counts it as objects, right? So on the further left column, and on the topmost row it's counted as variable. So I assume that whenever you make something like this, for example, on Excel, anything that's on the left column will always be counted as an object, and anything that you put on the top row will always be counted as variable, no matter how many of them there is, right? It's always be, I mean, RStudio will always count them like that, right, Bong?
Yes, good question. In data frame, we have a lot of observation, but in here just count want to see some variable. But in OCU, it also solve at all like it's because it here we have 32 variable. If you want to see it all, you can click on here. But the trend as the one from one observation to one observation has some different 21, 22, 32, and we just see the Python between the head and tail, and we want to see that. But if you want to see the statistic and we can summarize it if you want to see the value of all observation in this piece, and it sum up to. So you will know about minimum value 10.4 and the maximum value 20. If you see on this, you will know around. Yeah. Maybe it's difficult to understand just because a lot of observation. So you can summarize it. Can I answer the right question on what you asked?
Yeah, I think so. But as a follow-up, like for example, if I want to make a new like data set, for example, if I write in Excel, I create the spreadsheet and I write let's say object A, and then underneath object B, underneath object C. So that's three. When I put it into RStudio, it will show like three observation, and then let's say I have 10 variable for all three observation, and I put it on the top, the top row, then it will show as 10 variable as well, right, Bong? Like it will always be like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all variable, and if you want to show only 10 observation, yeah,
Okay. So that means whenever you make the Excel file, you have to make sure it's like proper to be imported onto RStudio, because there's no way you can change it on RStudio, correct, Mo? Once
yeah,
you import it.
you can change it on RStudio, and also if you want to show only some observation, you can click observation like here. Example, like I want to show type car, and I click here this and show only 10 it means 10 observation. So it's only this variable, not so at all. You see? Yeah, the difference when we type July and Antipi, it show only one observation if you want to see observation. But the data frame is not any change. It's stay.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. So the data, no matter what you do, remain unchanged. Yeah.
Want to change something and to keep the old, you can create a new object, Yeah. Example, I want to create a new object. Mice and select only some variable from my empty car. Display and my empty car and select this variable. So I create a new object, or we can call a data frame. My empty car. Maybe I forget code, so we can move to next. We can import data from website. If you has like this website, and you create a new name and enter pass link, and after you read it. This one is it has so. Now I want to show about the library keywords. If you not this library, you need to install package this one, this package. And now I call a data set name orange. Maybe I need to run package. Or this one. Everyone should run this library and control enter. We use this library to show data frame orange. Yeah. So let's to this data frame. Yeah. I create. Yeah, we create a new object with 100 variable and set observation. And now I want to log data. When you log data, we need to call a function. We need to use library. And we have run tdbus, so we need not we doesn't not need to run again. So I create an object and keep the plots data and data we get from data studio, and making it mean x coordinator and y coordinator, and I want to see about the definition. Question and yeah, now I select line expectation expectancy at birth year variable and variable GDP per capita, variable GDP per capita. So we need to this point is the type of value that's so in graph. So when we run it, when we plus point, the value has point, yeah, and and this y line expectation and GDP per capita. Yeah. Do you have any question?
Well, once you get the graph and let's say you want to export it to use in a presentation, how do you do that?
We can do that here. Let's go. Yeah. I'm not well remember the code, so I need to find my first. Yeah, here. We need to sell. I come back to line expectation. Yeah. This one. So I call function p g sell file name and sell to this one this folder file and I username file one and png or pdf. When I run when open file and file one, yeah, you will see. Yeah. You can export in PDI or PNG or picture file. Yeah. So I want to change the style of craft. I create run this one first. In this, we use data demand and mapping GDP per capita and life expectation. And here the model smooth. It we call generalized activities model with generate estimation. But I want to change the style. I can run this. When I want to apply a linear model in this graph, so linear model, we everything is the same, and we just change G E E M O M smooth, and we thought LM function LM it means linear model. When we run it, it will show the graph different from previous. We saw that when income increase, the life expectation also increase around 80 year, 80 year. When people has less income, the expectation living low than people have this. This one is the same, but what different is we scatter plot, scatter x log 10. It means put call with log 10 and we run. Everything change. This one we want to change it to dollar. We can scale and dollar, and everything is the same and run again. $100. If I want to change color, I do everything in the same, but I create a new function, a color, and call to print with so different color. Oh, plus yeah, we need run it on. This one is the method we call local regression or local hypothesis regression, and also no moving linear regression. With the same data frame, but I want to change color, let's point this point in color to print. If you want to use another variable observation, you can click the observation that you want to apply. It's apply population. Intelligent we cannot use because we need to apply a numeric data. So I'll find another observation. Only a light expectation. We change this. We can size. That's one to small size. We can click 3 and try again. If I want to show it clear, we can change this one. Okay, how's the question? Any question?
Có.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you have shown us a lot on how to use data, especially with what it's called a scatter plot, right? But can we have some? Can you show us some other examples, like some basic descriptive statistics and its basic graphs like bar chart, like histogram and other things? Is that possible?
Another graph. So I can continue this one. So I just show you some graph, and after we can go to example with the household survey data, and we can apply. So run it again. Here everything is the same, but we just change. We want add title, economic growth and life expectancy, and subtitle and caption. You can see here caption, and the same. Yeah, you can see the code, and I want to. We now we move to graph link. Here we call link 1, link 2, and different style. Here we classify statistic region, and we group country, and after we use function flex fit. We use function if take 3 argument, 3, and iterate GDP and like the GDP growth. I think you can run all of this code, and should remain code. Histogram format. You can. Now I think we can move to another example. Please open the code fin data. You can clear console and clear environment, and also clear scat cloud. So we move to a new project. First of all, you need to load a library. This library, tidyverse, tverse, HP, and enter. Now I want to use a data set from this data micro file, Stata file. So I create a new object, read Stata file, dsg file, data, and micro data. This data set is a household survey by World Bank among 100 countries on financial literacy and financial fintech situation by each country. And if you want to more understanding about the questionnaire, you need to read questionnaire. So we go to questionnaire together. In the PDF file, you can find in folder data. So 2007 Global Financial Finance Index, as Index questionnaire. Yeah, we have 17 page and a lot of questions. And all the question has yeah, no question, and DK unknown, and refer no answer. And so you know question we call dummy variable, or sometimes we can call statistic value. It difficult to use for scatter plot, and difficult use for for linear regression. So more of type of the data we can apply for statistical descriptive statistical, and just used to represent about the percentage or the number. You can read a questionnaire to understand the question. Now we go to work. So I call data frame, comma data frame name fin data. Yeah, we see a lot of observation and variable, and it's so only 10 observation, from observation 1 to observation 10, and all of variable from variable 1 to variable 105. And some of observation we see an A missing value, and age, yeah, age, and education well classified from number 1 to number 5. Number 1 is low education, and number 2 medium education of secondary school, and 3 high education, and number 4 it means they don't answer about their education, and number 5 maybe I forget. So we want to see the last observation, this country, and I want print roll, this roll, and when we see when we print it, the roll is represent this country, and when this roll represent Canada, and this one represent Vietnam. If you renumber a roll, you can type roll number, and when you print it, we will show the result. Print number of roll in the column fin2 and fin5. If you want to know observation and variable, if you don't want to see to watch this display, you can type dim and object name, and there you will see number of observation and variable. And you want to see the name of observation of variable, you can type a name, and you will see. If you want to see It's the same. Label and name. So the same design. But I want to see only. I want create a new function. I select only country, only Cambodia. So it means I create a new data frame only Cambodia. When integer we can ask Cambodia and we see all of observation in Cambodia has only this value and the number of observation is the same. When we saw the data frame, here we see. And if you want to see the label, the data has show you some descriptive about the variable name. Example, variable fin2. It means has a debit card. Fin3 it has a debit card and card is own name. So now I want to create a new data frame as data and I select only some variable here. I select variable S2, the result of S2, just no question, and don't know equal what 3 value, yeah. And I select unbank from column fin 11 A to 11 H, and I select variable saving variable fin 15 and borrowing in variable fin 21, and I select only the mean source of money that they come up variable fin 5. So we select country all, not only Cambodia but all region. We select from variable from region to fin 2, and after we select a variable from fin 11 A to 11 H, and select a variable fin 15, fin 21 and 25, and I enter. Yeah, we get a new data frame with all observation from the previous, but only 22 variable, mean variable that we will select. We want variable economy, region, population, farmer, age, education, income, income level, employment. Yeah. Now, too easy to we can rename variable. Now I rename a country to rename economy to country. We need to write a new name first, and after equal to previous name. I rename a new region, region W B to region. I rename population audience. This one, population audience to pop and random W random. I rename female to gender, income, yeah, employment, account, fintech, fin to account, sale, yeah, and intern. When we click a name as click to, here we will see the new name that we was rename as to. Here, a new name, account, error and participate in. Yes, that's right. Unemployment. I think something wrong. Something. Country. Cannot find what error. Try again. Data. Missing agreement something called. Maybe we write wrong something. Oh, I see. Name. Oh, okay. Mhm. Cannot find. Cannot find. I think something error we can move to another person, but I will change scale. Vậy đó cái lạiនេះខ្ញុំអត់ដឹងថាខុសកន្លែងណារកកន្លែងខុសគឺពោះចងតែនេះរហូតបើសិនកាំងកន្លែងនេះប្រហែលទីទៅដល់នោះគឺកាំងបន្តគ្នាហើយអត់ដឹងថាខុសកន្លែងណាត្រូវ I think we can move to other exercise because from this link to another link is related because when I change the name, so we need to spend a lot of time changing. Move to this one. This maybe in a front language. The author used the data set from Africa country to study economy and education. So we run clean library. And I import data from Excel file, and we click only sheet 1 because in Excel has only a lot of sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, but we click data from sheet. Now we choose the variable to study. We create data frame and combine variable and create a new data frame, and we use data 1 and new vector 1 and int. And this one data frame 2 vector 2 and rename variable data 1. This style is different from my style, so it's the same. And name, rename, we call name, and use data from data 1 and observation variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, code region, critical, code commune, code village code, number of children, education, math, primary education, primary school, who has studied in primary school. You can director of a school, man, study at school, and female has education, and we rename it on. Click enter. Data one. This previous name and this one the name observation that we rename. Now data two the same. We rename it and it's now we in Excel file point it means missing value. So all point we determine equal to missing value data one and data two. And this one we change characteristic as the variable because example variable here. Number of children, number of children. And I want to see string. Characteristic value. So we want to change to a numeric variable. So we use we call variable and call function as a numeric, and this one missing something, and call variable string, and we change characteristic. Again, I want to see the type of variable when enter. Yeah, it was changed to numeric. So select it all, and we change to numeric variable. Data 2 is the same. We change variable characteristic to numeric variable. And now we select only two digit after the real value. We select variable and call function count and variable that we want to select. I want to change digit as add digit only two. Dịch máy hay quý hay là nói biệt phí in the same data two. Now I summarize descriptive statistic. So we summarize the number of children. Okay. Number of children. Number of children. Maximum, minimum 0, maximum 12, and missing value. We can summarize all observation, all variable. And we want to summarize missing value between data 1, data 2, and missing value divide rows bin. Now we continue. We continue expand on something education on health. We want to see the continue of household expand on health in the country in Mali, and we want to continue total revenue expand on education, transfer money that get from migration in the last 12 months, and expand on health the same. Now we want to see the correlation between variable, numeric variable. We variable 1, data 2, and we select from observation 20 to observation 24, 45, and we select observation 2 to observation 10. Correlation plot. In general, in statistics, correlation has a value from 1 to 0. If value 1 is mean significant correlation, it positive. If value minus 1, no 0. 0 it means no correlation. If minus 0, it means strongly negative correlation. Now we histogram. We use money that transfer from migration, and we time is style of scrap and bar chart. So it classified by region. stratified by region, and this one is transfer money that get from migration worker transfer to the country, and last 12 months. This region has a high income from migration transfer to the household in the country. This one we want to know about the household spending on health by region. So we see that this region spend less spending on health, but among other region has had the same. I think maybe wrong. It's data maybe missing. had the same value. Any question? This graph all about household spending on education by region. Here is the money that spent on education, and this block we want to know about annual revenue income by region. Not make sense. This region income from migration worker has low, but when total income on region, people in the region has high than other. So it maybe people in the region has a lot of job in the region, not like people from migration worker. Type of migration by region. Now we make import data file math Google Math, yeah, and rename. I schedule. Maybe make we will wait a minute. Because when we run a large file, so we need to spend some minutes to for loading. If your PC Core i7, Core i9, I think maybe run fast. In the graph, we will see about total revenue, total income by region in the map. So now we view map. Wait. I think yeah. Now we will see the math that represent about the total income per region. Region, this region and region here. Income in dollar. Yeah. It's call problem because my PC is slow right now. This file around 150, 59. So it's large. I think my PC is slow. You have any question? Okay. I see a question on in chat that explain most about the purpose of AI. Oh, yeah, try to click oh yeah, it's programming programming language that in or we can use it for social science like visualize data and transformation data, and also we can use or schedule for writing word or Excel, which means we produce data set on all. For example, my slide I produce from all program, and I put on this slide is not PowerPoint, is PDF from a file Latic. And yeah, I think most of social researcher they use our program and we call Stata, yeah, to regression or to descriptive statistic or use for call linear country regression or macroeconometric module. And one that we can benefit from our program is free. If you use Stata, we need to pay around $300 per year. I think the author has clarified wrong, because we see that most of household has a revenue from 0 to $1,000, but they classify from 100,000 to this one. So no region has household income among this one. So lot of has in this one. Yeah, I think from this one to this is made crap. So my PC error, so I will not run it. Have any question? I think if you want to apply it on specific research study, you need to have an exercise on it. It's good maybe. All right. Have any suggestion or question?
I think right. Thank you, Gustav. That's it for right for the session. I think it's been already more than 2 hours for this seminar. But I think it's I know that it's not enough for all of you to understand, have a full grasp on how to use our program and how and see how could that be used to serve your empirical analysis in your individual project. Because as some of you asked, what is the purpose of using AI program, and how does that feed into your data interpretation and analysis? I think I may need to talk to Gasol on how could maybe we need one more session, because I think for them, like as an exercise or practice, let them do or analyze, or no, not analyze or visualize data and on air program by themselves. But I think it's would be better if we could make that session in person instead, when we come back to the office, because I know that it might be hard for all of you to maybe ask question or catch up or to follow up what Gasol has shown to all of you on Zoom. So Gasol, do we have some other data set, like some simple data set, or maybe we can use nếu cái sao cái mình cái sao mention tại con man COVID-19 data set ấy, or that census data set, is that too big?
Yeah. Household data set, household survey.
Oh, household survey. Yeah, household survey. Is that too big, or we can extract some variables as a simple exercise for them to play around and use air program? Is that possible?
I think our program we can apply a household data set, but the problem is that when we analyze it and transformation data, the household data in AI is very complicated, because we need to rename variable, and we need to classify and categorize in group the variable that we want to use study. Example, you have a study on agricultural, and we use comedy census on agriculture, and yeah, we see a lot of million observations around 2 or 3 million observations and a lot of variable. So we want to select only 2 or 3 variable. We want to see the correlation between household income and 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 uh, and market. No, makes sense. Or market, let's say household output and input, agricultural input. So we want to know that the variable like agricultural land, agricultural input material like pitches and financial, and we want to see the production. So we select only this variable, and we need to classify. If you want to classify by region, example, classify to 3 region. Region down here, Thông, North region, West region, and after we can plot data. And I think the code that I saw you in the file data visualize or B, I think it may be useful for you for use this code for graph plot data for, and this one finished data. I will check what's error, and I will update you later. But I think that if have exercise, maybe a code, it means I provide exercise on you, and you need to submit to me. I think maybe you can learn most on air program because you have time to research. If I present, yeah, I just go through, and sometimes all of you online, I don't know, some error with code, some has goes fast or slow, we don't know. Last year we studied descriptive statistics for China and Stata. Yeah, we had 8 week, right? 8 session, right? Right.
Again, Gasol?
Last week, last year we had learned Stata and descriptive statistics with Mochai and basic linear regression. Yeah, we have 8 sessions.
Yeah.
And this year, I think it will not statistical system, so I think you need to explore more on it if your research project apply statistic or econometric model.
I think of one study from Nara, you are going to test sort of correlation, right? Sugar variable, and is that right, Nara?
Oh yeah, well, I'm going to do the regressions, but let's see. I think I gotta change it to like t-test or something else because of I have to collect the data through the online survey, so it's hard to do like the linear regression. So let's see. Well,
Okay.
I see sốc liếp also same
Chị Lê.
also use regression. I see proposal and someone
No, Bong. I think my methodology now changed to qualitative, and Pooh suggests only conduct some interview, so I don't need to like use the correlation or anything to analyze the study.
Sublim? I think Sublim.
Yeah, I think Sublim. Yeah, maybe
yeah,
Sublim,
Sublim.
not me.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Sublim
Bong.
education.
You also planning to use a regression model?
Yeah, I was thinking of looking at the because basically now I'm looking at the model of the readiness and the maturity of the firm industrial 4.0 readiness. Therefore, I was thinking of running a regression among those variables.
Okay. Well, see, so some of them are going to use a regression model, so I think we may need maybe 2 more sessions. One could be used to as a exercise or group assignment, as you said.
Yeah, I think it's possible if it's good if we have group assignment or individual assignment. I will create a form that use raw data set and apply it in, rename or after visualize and we select some variable and use to regression and predictive and export data. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you can find it in code file, data visualize. But I don't know, most of you has time to do it.
Well, can I ask a question or do a quick survey? What have you learned from the session today? And any basic basic stuff that you have acquired, like coding or import export. I think the most important thing is to know how to code.
Yeah, Bong, I think because we don't know the coding and stuff, so it's difficult for us to catch up. And I think if we have a physical seminar, it would be better because we can follow well. Like for me, I have to follow both the slideshow that Bongo saw show and the all program, and then I cannot catch up well because when he move his mouth, I need to find so many like different function that I get lost sometimes because of the code and everything. So maybe physical seminar would be better, I guess.
I think maybe before we do any exercise, I think we should do like another short familiarization, maybe just like 20 or 30 minutes where Kosal, he can just go over like what we need to do in order to get the data set and then, you know, plotting the graph and everything. Because I can follow him, but it's as Sigleng say, like this sort of coding program, the program itself, the visual is like we're not used to it. So it took me a while to understood what the top left window is for, what the bottom left window is for, what the top right one is for. So I get it. I think if you ask me to like import the data set and then do the graph and everything, and I think I can do it. And I'm sure if I mess around with what you gave us, I can like do some of the other things that we just did. But it's just that I think for the others, I think maybe another familiarization would be needed, and maybe you can like explain like don't go into detail first, but maybe just explain overall, okay, you know, what the top left window is for, what the bottom left is for, what the bottom right is for, and then just sort of do a quick summary of step 1, step 2, step 3, what you need to do in order to turn a data set, turn it into a graph. You know, I think that will certainly help before we do an actual exercise.
Okay. What do you think, Sal?
Yeah, I think it's good recommendation, and
Okay.
I might all of you has a read guideline that I send you.
Yeah.
As
I mean, I don't think today was bad. It's just that today, like you try to tell us so many things that we get lost. So maybe just try to do the important point, and step by step, I think we'll be able to understand it a bit better.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. And I will update on GitHub something error on find data, and you just go to GitHub when this one has checked. When you run it, it can run. Everything we're gonna to close because I rename it. I don't know what's wrong. I think in here you can when you free time you can go back again, and you can read short description here, and you will know something that I want to do, like print first 10 column. Yeah, thank you for your join today, and see you soon, and hope stay safe.
Okay, thank you so much, Bong.
Thank you,
Thank
Bong.
you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Stay safe.
Thank you.